Yo, what's up, dog?
Oh, there you go.
Welcome back to How Are We Famalam podcast. Me, John Man, Jesse. What's up, dog? Yo, what's up?
Anyway, look, we were meant to have a very special guest turning up today.
And they got me.
I mean, we can't reveal who it was, but this is our last time in the studio, isn't it?
Our last time. Our last time.
You said that before.
Yeah, I've said that twice before, haven't we?
Yeah.
We want to introduce you to the absolute pain in the ass
That gorgeous mofo.
who's been doing our live edits since
That
we
bad
started.
MF.
Look, he doesn't shut up, honest to God. Blake, welcome. Sorry, Jay.
That's true.
Oh, just got Jizzy.
That's true.
Listen, man. We got Cheese. We got Cheese, Johnston-Lynch.
Chief Johnston-Lynch, thank you
My
very
man.
much.
My
So
man.
wait. You got to ask me how old you,
Ex-producer
fam?
producer for the Wu-Tang Clan. You've got a fantastic story as well. You're not just a talker, or you're not someone who just messes our podcast.
Yeah, you're not just a gap filler.
I'm not. But first of all, I want to do How Are We Famalam? So how are we fam?
How are we, Famalam?
How are we fam?
How are we, Famalam?
I'm very good, fam.
Your voice is like silk, man.
I know, it's true.
Get your ass.
Well, you know what? It works in the bedroom.
Damn right.
Damn right.
I'm just going to keep doing it.
Oh,
So, yeah, Chase, welcome to the How Are We Famalam podcast.
yo, listen, guys. I mean, great show. Glad to be on. Whether it's a mistake or not, who knows?
Who knows? We'll see where it goes. I met you, Chase, about 12 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe.
Yeah. Give or take, about 10 to 12 years ago, yeah. Because I've been here 20 years, so it's like I knew your dad and everything, and I eventually met you and stuff and everything. And this little Pinocchio boy of steel.
You remember?
Pinocchio, are you nosist?
Has nothing to do with that. I bet. Okay, he's rock hard. Jazz is rock hard solid. That's what I meant.
When I met you, Chase, you're a loud character, and then yeah. And also, my son's called Jace.
Oh, really?
So
Yeah.
my dad from that time on, he called me lad Chase just to wind him up. So the name always remembered you, and then we ended up working together, didn't we? Well, I ended up going on your podcast, didn't I?
Yeah, no, exactly, and very interesting stuff like that. And you told me you wanted to do podcasts, and I say, yo, we got the studio, and How Are We Famalam was born, and it's a giant. Your show is a giant, man. I was talking to you about your numbers, and you guys act like I don't even know. And stuff. So I'm pretty sure your fans out there know how well received you guys are. You're a perfect combination, the two of you.
Oh, nice one, Chase.
I know.
First time he's ever said anything nice. You little ass licker. Honest to God.
I be licking, bro. But still.
Well, I am interested, Chase, to know about how you grew up and what it was like. America, baby.
Oh man, no, listen, this is all good because obviously, I'm from New York. People always ask me that, and you can hear my voice even though I've been here 20 years. But I grew up in Harlem, believe it or not. And I was talking to Jazz about it earlier, who seems to be a New York traveler. I grew up right across the bridge from Yankee Stadium, so it's like at the north tip of Manhattan, and not a lot of people know about it. But Harlem Heights, even George Washington went there, our first president. You know what I mean? The Harlem River.
He went there as he visited.
No. It's during the wartime and stuff like that. When he fought, like you only see in picture books and stuff like that. But one of the actual rivers that he fought on was the Harlem River, and everything. So there was a battle with the Hessians, and everything, right there at the tip of Manhattan where I grew up. It eventually became known as McCoon's Place.
Nice.
Little facts. I'm just sorry. Because I could say I'm from Harlem and then tell you all, the stuff that you've seen in movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Cotton Comes to Harlem was shot on my street. American Gangster. You were talking about Bumpy Johnson. And
I watched this documentary about Central Park. It's talking about like a black community. And in Central Park, before it was built, there was a real strong black community there.
Yeah, I mean,
they've been digging it all up, haven't they? Because like the black people were pushed up to the top. Am I right by saying this?
You're exactly right. So, where you see the movies like the Gangs of New York, whatever, right? So they talk about the 5 points or Hell's Kitchen. So that's like at the bottom of New York. So what happened was when the immigrants came over, from Ellis Island came through Liberty Island. So everybody was all kind of like put down at the bottom of New York. So all the different Italians, Irish, Polish, all that. So the blind people, you know, when they came in, they're like, let's push them up further. Yeah. And then further and further. And so they ended up in Carmelville, which eventually became Harlem and stuff. So, yeah.
Manhattan's not actually that big, is it? It's not really that big, is it? It's a very interesting place, like.
What, Manhattan?
Yeah.
Well, it's just that Manhattan is just only one borough in New York. So it's funny when people keep asking me, you from New York? Yeah, yeah. And
I mean, because there's so many different communities.
It's 5 different boroughs in New York. Yeah.
No, in Manhattan itself?
No, Manhattan is one of the boroughs.
No, I'm saying Manhattan itself, there's just so many different communities. It's so varied. Such a small place. That's what
you're
I'm
right.
saying.
Yeah, you're right. But all of the different people that were crammed and thrown in there, right, will not say that. Because it was like, you ever heard of shanty towns?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen Doctor Who. So it was like that. It started out like that. It's like, even though everybody came from a different place, they were all thrown into one place. And this is what I think people don't understand is because it's like New York was the first place that everybody who was running from King George came to. So it's full of Englanders, right? So they weren't even calling themselves Americans. So it's like, so if they came from Italy or if they came from Ireland or Poland or whatever, they were all thrown into this one place. And they couldn't understand one another. It's like the Tower of Babel. And so they had to create a slangular language like Scousers, right? Create a slangular language which became known as Americanisms. So like the Americans, they got rid of their Englishness, became Americans, and then it's like, well, we're all white, right? So then, you know, when you push out the dark-skinned people, then they went up further up the boroughs to Harlem or Upper Manhattan and everything like that. So, you know, just thought I'd give you all a bit of history from New York, you know what I'm saying?
So Hell's Kitchen isn't where that term comes up because it was a melting pot, no?
Hell's Kitchen was the area where everybody got thrown into.
Yeah, so that was like a melting pot. That's what it's called. Hell's
Kitchen. Yeah. Exactly.
A little tip for you there.
It has nothing to do with Gordon Ramsay. Yeah.
So tell us, like when I first met you, this like big black American guy from Harlem. I was like, no way, Chase. It's like you're such an interesting chap.
Yeah.
So tell us about your upbringing, like, because we see like America. We see the streets, we see the the fire hydrants, just like, and everyone.
Oh man, yo,
all this is like, is that what your upbringing was like?
Yeah, like do the right thing. Yeah, I mean, like, so I grew up on a block, right? Yeah. Kind of like you've probably seen Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. I grew up on a block like that, you know, like where everybody is all on that one street. You know, you had the fire hydrants.
People often get fooled by the rocks that you've got. But you're still Chase from the block. No, I don't want to go.
I didn't get that one, John. Okay. Chase from the block. I wasn't always Chase, but anyway, like, so we had a block. Everybody knew each other. You know, like the woman out hanging outside the window is like, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, you know, and so yeah, it was a great community, man. That's why I think I love Liverpool so much because it reminds me of something just like that. Like when a community, you know, defends its own. You know, it doesn't eat its own; it defends its own. Yeah. And I grew up on the street like that.
What was it? Apartments? Apartment blocks, was it?
They were like 3 floors, so it's more like maisonettes, or you know. But not everybody lived on Strivers Road. You know, like where you see those big stoops. Yeah. So you only had like little stoops, but you still had people. You know, like girls corn rolling like people's hair
Skipping
and stuff like that. Oh, double dutch, bro! You need 2. You need 2 ropes. You didn't skip, and then it's like. Playing loadies or hopscotch. Yeah, come on, man. The old men sitting down there playing dominoes or checkers on the street corner. Oh, man, it's beautiful.
Bronx Tale?
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, that kind of community I love. And, you know, it's lost because, you know, when fear came into place and kids couldn't go outside. I mean, it must have been for you guys, like when you were young and like you leave the house and you leave the house.
Yeah, you haven't got no money, you don't come back till 10 o'clock in the
night. You go out wandering the street, walking around in circles, you know, going into the grassy part of the area. You must have remembered that.
It's gone. It's like saying about getting a caravan. It's like, so I've just got a caravan and the idea is like my kids don't go out.
No.
But I used to go out in the morning. That was it.
Exactly.
And it's like, I thought, I'll get this caravan. He can go and play out. He can just go and be
Yeah.
free. And the
We
mum's
didn't
like,
have video games. We didn't have phones. We
Yeah.
didn't have any of those things. We only had our imagination. And I mean, you could do a lot with a stick.
no, but even now, their mum's saying, they can't play out. I'm like, what do you mean? There's no point to getting a caravan. So they can just, no, they can't. Maybe you can play outside. It's like, well, no, we used to just go and explore. But it's a shame it's all
You can't
gone,
go. You can't go outside your gate, can you? You know, it's like, where's my kid at? Remember when you used to be sent with the store with like a dime or a dollar with and everything? Yeah. You know, go get some government cheese. You know, get the paper, right? And everything like that. But they'll send you down the street with and you come back. And you could do that. Get a loaf and stuff like that. Now, you don't send your kid anywhere.
And you could get it without money, couldn't you? On loan.
Credit. We called it credit.
We called it tick.
Tick? Oh, yeah.
Get it on tick. What was Strap, lads.
Oh, my God, man. Oh, I love going to the shop on credit. You get like, they put like, you wrap your cheese. They would actually physically, you have to slice the block of cheese and put the cheese in there and wrap it in the wax paper and everything. You get a loaf and then, you're sorted.
I'm dying to know what an 18-year-old Chase was like. I can just see him. I can just see him with a ghetto blaster on his arm. I can just see a bit of line out. I love it.
Was the community?
Is that what you like?
Schools? No, you went to little school. Well,
yeah, I went to Catholic school. We called it Catholic school. So that's when you had. So for here, it's strange for me because here your kids all wear school uniforms, but the only people who wore school uniforms were the people who went to Catholic school. So like my area was Roman Catholic and everything. The school was in the church. We had Sunday school, all that other kind of stuff. So I was that kid, but everybody else wore their own clothes. So it's obviously they're neighborhood kids are skitting you for coming home. And we had all green uniforms. We were like fucking we were like leprechauns, man. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So the first thing you want to do is just like rip off that tie, take off them hard shoes and everything. I mean, you got people carrying their like sneakers in the bag. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was like that. So I grew up like that. But then I got kicked out of Catholic school.
Go on.
All right. I thought I'd lead you there. Yeah, so so I got into a fight with a girl, and come on, man, girls are hardcore. We're talking about hardcore in the 70s, right? Of course, I was a nerd as well, but I couldn't take it anymore. It's kind of like when you're quiet, because you asked me how I grew up, because I have a little bit of Asperger's and all that other kind of stuff. So I was a lot more quieter than I am now.
Yeah,
lack of confidence. I had a very huge stutter. I was like, I was like Porky Pig or something like that.
Did you, Chase? Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, at the time, Chase, there's no such thing as Asperger's, was there at that time?
No, you were just the weird kid who stuttered. That's me. I was the weird kid who stuttered, the read comic books and all that. So like, and so when, girls, they were more aggressive then, right? So there you get the name calling or whatever. And it's like, oh, you want to fight. So you had to hold it in as much as you can. I held it in as much as I can until I had to throw the first punch and everything like that.
What it just built up, Chase, over time.
Yeah. And it was like, so the priest, who's the headmaster, whatever, he had this kind of like, did you ever have corporal punishment, with the ruler?
When I was a kid, it had just gone. He still had the stick on top.
Are you trying to say I'm that much older than you? Now, my guy, he had this big kind of like stick that he wrapped with electrical tape. Right, so it would be like every time you sent to the principal's office, you're sent to the principal's office.
You get the cane. We called it the cane.
Yeah, well, the teachers had the nun teachers had the cane, but so he had this big stick, and I got tired of getting hit, because it's Catholic school, so it's like come in here, drop your pants, hit, right? So I just couldn't take it.
Chase, because we're having Asperger's, and it's like obviously you behave in a different way because your brain works differently.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm on the spectrum somewhere along the line, and in school I was a naughty kid, but I'm not. I'm a great human being. I'm creative in this, but at the time I was told I was just a naughty kid.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's so unfair that I have to get beat out of you.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I'm 10 years old, and I thought I was just only defending myself, and then I'm like, I'm gonna get beat again.
You're getting punished for being normal.
You're normal.
Yeah, my normal. Thank you. Yeah, I don't think I was normal, but so I ran away, and they shout me out, and I got kicked out and everything, sent to the cousins in the Bronx and everything, and then I started public school for the first time and stuff. and everything. But I will be thankful for Catholic school because the teaching was so much that it made me more advanced when I got to public school. So my only problem was that I had a stutter and I was left-handed. So you know what the problem with left-handed is, right?
You're a southpaw. You went off the jab.
I don't even know which one I'm using, bro. I'm ambidextrous. I had to become ambidextrous. But so when I first
Can I ask, in a Catholic school, was that an issue? Did they try and force you to be right-handed?
So, no, what do you call it? Public school did. Did you just say that? When I got to public school, they tried to force me to be right-handed.
Why?
Because it's the devil.
Because it's not.
I used to. I'm left-handed. I used to use the scissors.
I'm talking about the 70s.
I learned to do everything wrong, if that makes sense.
No, in Catholic schools used to say it was something to do with the devil or something like that. They
literally would grab your hand, you know, put a
oh yeah,
whatever. I don't have a pen on me. They literally grab your hand and force you to write and stuff like that, you know. And you didn't write, you got hit or smacked or whatever and stuff like that. And so everything your learned behavior was through torture and stuff like that. So yeah, but so I am right-handed now. you know.
Yeah. Did you change?
Yeah, they forced me to change.
Did you stay southpaw though? Because remember that time you jumped out the box and scared you, and you wasn't able to southpaw, weren't you?
Yeah, I don't fight much, but when I do, yes. It's a surprise. It's a surprise where that fist is coming from, you know what I mean? No, I did Taekwondo though, you know what I mean? So that's why I do that, because I got, you know, I had to do the training and stuff. So I did the Taekwondo and everything.
So did you learn to become ambidextrous at 10?
Yeah. And I guess one would say it's good that you started early because, like, you know, maybe a fork. I can put a fork in my left hand or something like that, you know, or and it gets confusing sometimes, like which one of. So I don't know my right from my left, pretty much. So every time somebody asks me directions, I'll go like this, right? Just, you know, because my mind doesn't pick up on what's right and what's left.
I have a theory where left-handed people come from.
Uh-oh. Where did they come from?
Well, you know, if you get identical twins, mirror twins, you'll find a lot of the time one's left-handed and one's right-handed. So they're basically a mirror split of the other. The egg split and they become two entities, right? But unfortunately, sometimes the right one, which is your standard human being, it'll split. It'll split like that, and then it'll do that. But the original one dies off, and that leaves the left-handed twin.
The dark half.
So we have spoke about this before, and I said my theory on twins, didn't I? In boxing, I said to John, because John is a twin. Are you left and right? Both of you left-handed, righters?
Well, non-identical twin.
So I know a lot of boxers who are both twins, and one of them's a southpaw, and one's an orthodox.
Yeah.
You know, one's a left-handed and one's a right-handed. That was just something I thought and asked you, and
that's like if they were like conjoined in the room or something like that.
So very early on, we could have had two chasers.
Very early on, I very much doubt that, but you know, but yeah, possibly. But yeah, no. So that was the schooling. That was the schooling, man. But so I didn't overcome my stutter until I got to college. I had one of those Eliza Doolittle teachers. You ever see My Fair Lady?
No, I've seen King's Speech.
Okay, yeah. I had that kind of training. So I had a teacher that just took me under her wing. And, you know, like she would do like, you know, put a cork in your mouth. Wow. And every time you say, you know, the wrong word or whatever, I'll throw a nail in the tin. And so there was a lot of nails in that tin.
And then say, look how many wrong words you've got.
Well, it's... I do it every time I'm kind of oh shit.
Yeah.
It comes back. But so I had this hardcore training to learn how to speak properly because I was very intelligent, obviously. But what happened was because of my stutter, I couldn't go off to private school. I was supposed to go off to private school because I was so what I was trying to say was when I got to public school, I was way smarter than the other kids. Yeah. So after like 2 weeks, they put me into special classes and stuff like that. And then when I went off to college, it's just like, you know, well, you just had all of this stuff on, but because of the way I spoke, people didn't give me a chance to actually get out what I was trying to say. So then I decided to join the debating team, and like so the coach of that debating team just worked with me on it, and I like to think I speak very proper and very confidently now, because when I was
Chase, you don't shut up.
Okay, fine. I was trying, you didn't know it. You didn't know it. I was just trying to say, I ended up going to debate against the Ivy League schools, like Harvard and Princeton and Yale and everything like that. And they underestimated me. And I thought you'd understand that, Jazzer, like being underestimated. It's that, the black guy. Yeah, you're going to get the black guy? Yeah. We're going to take him out and stuff. And then I would kick their butts.
What was it like? What was it like being on that team? Was it be the cleverest kids in the school, were they?
Yeah. So like what it would be is that, debating, right? So it's just kind of like, you had to be really clever, you had to be quick on your feet and all of that other kind of stuff. It's like mental gymnastics, yeah?
And how many subjects would you have to learn? Every subject?
Everything. So it's like, it was all about themes and resolutions. So it's all about, okay, the topic is going to be this, the topic is going to be that. And then you have like 5 minutes to debate your affirmative or your negative against it. And, your rebuttal and all that. And so I had this other kid who was like from Yonkers and everything like that. And really, goofy, awkward guy. But then the whole point was we were a force of nature, because you would see us, Harvard, Princeton, right? The guys with the yellow ties, the red ties and everything like that. And we come in like this, and
to go from someone who's had a stammer to the point where you've had to get it treated to then go onto a debate team, that's like one extreme to the other, isn't it? That was a real challenge for you. Was that you testing yourself?
Well, I mean, it was the trust of like, I think, when you get good mentors. I've always been like that kid who wanted some, because then my dad wasn't around and everything. So I was always like that kid who was like, train me, do something with me or whatever. And I will, fight, but I would fight mentally if that would, and everything. So it was just that, like, give me a chance, and and I'll run with it. And you can only do that when you have proper support, in your life and everything like that. And so to go after Princeton was a real huge thing because it's Ivy League, as they call it, and we were just from like Pace University, some school in Westchester, and everything. So, but it ended up in getting the cup, is what I'm just trying to say.
So we used the underdogs race?
Yeah.
And you just went off to win?
Yeah.
Wow, well done, Chase.
Yeah. I mean, like, what it was because I was a geek and a nerd and everything, I grew up on comic books. So, as I said to Jazzer, you can make your own resolutions and stuff like that. So, the resolution was comic books are educational. And then we went with that and just kicked everybody's ass with that one and everything. Because, they think they know Spider-Man or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm talking about this is educational because, And if you read comics as a kid, did any of you read comics as a kid? See. So cool, the cool
But I know
kids.
a lot of people learn from Lord of the Rings. They've learned a lot from Star Wars because it's how they're written. And there's loads of...
Yeah, but this is what I mean. Because Marvel... Yeah, Marvel did that. Yeah, it was all these big, huge words, but they had pictures, so you could kind of like understand it a little bit. And so I grew up on that, so that's what helped. So it's like it made me a champion in the spelling bee, right? And everything like that. And then it made me a champion in the debate team. So words was my weapons. Wow. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to big up the nerds.
Pictures in the comics book was your introduction to being this intelligent guy, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, well, also not having any friends, so you know what I mean.
Yeah. So then, music become a really big part of your life, then, didn't it, Chase?
Well, yeah. So once I left college and realized I couldn't get any work, when you go to school for literature and communications, I fell into the movie and film world because in the 90s. That's when Spike Lee came out, right? So Spike Lee came out, there was other filmmakers like the Hudlin brothers and Robert Townsend, and they formed this, what they call a Black Filmmaker Foundation. So what they wanted to do was give back to their neighborhood, like in Brooklyn and Bronx and all that. So they created this program. And so I just put down on my resume what little there was of my fascination in comics and all that. And then what happened is that like, so I had to do all the messenger jobs and everything. And then I get fired for reading a comic book, right?
Wow. What was it like,
did you?
What was it like? You're the smart kid in school. This is your identity. It's who you are. You leave school. You want to get a job. This happens a lot because I tell my kids, I actually do say, who you know will be a big factor in life.
Yeah.
What's it like being this intellectual kid and then leaving school with all these brains and then getting told
that you had to be like a messenger or... Jazzer, like, it's like, so it said spelling bee, mathlete. I was all of that. So I get a job in an accounts payable office. So I'm working in a library. I did a lot of library jobs, right? Like I worked in the TV station in the library, and I worked in accounts payable. So I was so good at finding like checks, you know, like, hey, there's a missing checks from the hospital and all that kind of stuff. So the boss is telling me, yeah, man, you're fantastic. Oh, well, thanks. All right, that's cool. I'll take that. Next day I come in, get this new comic book, right? Panic in the Sky. Superman is like this whole big thing. I've been waiting for this, right? I get my coffee. I go into the office. I got my own little office, right? You know, I'm like, nobody about. It's like 9 o'clock. I just got in.
AM.
Yeah, AM, right? So I got the paper, pull out the paper, pull out the comic book, put it on top of the paper. Got the coffee. I'm ready to read this book. And the boss, the big boss, is walking around, like looking for heads to swipe off, right? Yeah. And then he literally walks right past my door, right? Looks back in, and he walks in. He goes, "Why are you reading that on my time?" Oh, I don't know, man. I just got in, right? And then he leaves. Then my boss comes in. They asked you to leave. What? I just opened it. You know what I mean?
What time is this at?
9:15. I just opened it. You told me yesterday I was the master of the files. That I was, you know, that I was invaluable. Well, you know, and then I had to walk back to my agency, which was like a couple of blocks away. And everything. I go up the elevator, walking down a long hallway like Hudsucker Proxy. Right? The agent is sitting at the desk, right? I can see him as I'm walking down the hall, so I'm walking down the hall slowly with my head down. And literally, Jada, I got up to the desk and he goes, "You were reading a comic book?" Right? Dude, I'm the master of the files. So anyway, he's like, just go home. Just go home. It's fucking still early. So I get home. By the time I get home back to the Bronx, I get a call from the agency, right? I'm like, oh, okay, maybe this is another job. Guy says to me, "How much can you lift?" What? Now, I used to be a weightlifter, Jada, right? I don't know, I guess like 60 pounds, something like that. He's like, good. They need somebody to lift up the shit after the elephants in the circus. You know, when Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus was around? I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Wow. in a good way or a bad way?
Dude, I don't know, but I've never worked again. Right? Because I just said, F this, man. I'm out. Oh. Because if you could be treated, like, it's like you were just saying, you know, your brains and all that doesn't even matter. If you could just be treated like this, I mean, like, you know, I'm going to go and do something, you know, what naughty people do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's skip that part. So I come back for doing something.
If you enjoyed the circus out, you know what I mean? You could have spoken. I could
have been a clown, yeah. And everything. So I come back home, right? And I had 2 messages on my answer machine. And this comes to your final answer. One message was, I need you like comics and stuff like that. And I need you to write the superhero character and write this movie for us. Another message said, so yeah, you know, you're creative and stuff like that and want to actually start a public access channel, which is kind of like podcasting nowadays. And want you to be my producer, you know, for a music show. Radio? TV. One was TV and one was a movie. So it was kind of like the gift that keeps on giving. That's not the road to go down. This is the road to go down. And so that's how I ended up into the business because I wrote the movie, had all these like famous people from the time in, and that got made. And then I was producing a TV show on public access that had all these sexy girls, you know, right? Music show. And they got to meet all these like record labels and stuff. But we needed to hire a director. And the director we hired was the assistant director to Marcus Nispel, who was like one of the famous directors at the time.
Have you got any idea what you're doing, or are you just an intelligent guy who's got the ability to wing it out, like us now on this podcast?
Yeah, I was just like, when you're like a creative person, like I call it like swimming, right? When you're just like a creative person and you know ideas just come to you, you could just tell me an idea and I can like look at you like blank a little bit because of the Asperger's, but I'm actually take it all in. So anything that came at my way, I just kind of like knew how to do it. So like, but by working on these earlier jobs, I was just getting all that experience. But what I'm trying to say is it's like going down the drain into, fantasy land. Because now I'm working with CC Music Factory, George Michael, all these kind of different artists.
How does it feel to getting told now you can't read your comic books in my office to then, I trust your opinion and we're going to go your way? How does it feel getting this leeway on a big platform?
What do go my way now?
No, at this point when
you've gone from one extreme to the other, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, exactly. Because, I was on LinkedIn the other day and like somebody was talking about hindsight, right? And I was like, you know what, man? Hindsight is a beautiful thing because if you fail at something, obviously you're gonna sink into depression, right? Oh, I failed, so I got fired. Oh man, I got fired. This is messed up. But a couple of weeks later, I ended up doing all of this stuff. I wouldn't have ended up doing that if I didn't get fired. So maybe on purpose, I got fired. I don't care.
You meant it really, didn't you?
I didn't mean it, but really? Somebody meant it for me.
What was the movie?
So it was it went on and ended up on what do you call that? VHS. It's called Body Sculptor movie. It's about bodybuilders against drugs and everything. And
like a documentary, was it, Chase?
No, it was actual.
It had a narrative. It was a story. Was it?
Yeah. It was an actual film. It wasn't a great film, but it was an actual film. I only just wrote it, bro. But it had all these like famous people in it. So because it was people against, the organization still exists. It's like a friend of mine, Vince Ferguson. Shout out Vince Ferguson. Is that like they just wanted to like do something positive? So they wanted to create a superhero that was like, hey, drugs are bad, okay? That kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
But then we ended up with all these people, rappers from the time like MC Light or Kumo D or Kid and Play from the House Party movies.
Kid and Play?
Yeah, so we ended up with all these people just wanted to jump on. Alfonso Ribeiro, everybody. Gregory Hines, and then I got to go into the set, and like, write a little bit of dialogue and all that kind of stuff. And it was great. The film it can be found. It's out there.
You'll find it.
It's just, come on, man. It's early 80s, 90s video.
Body Sculpt.
Huh?
Body Sculpt.
Body Sculpt, the movie, right? And it's like a big guy. I'm the body sculptor. I'm the sculptor. Oh my God, it's so bad, I think.
8 stone 10, no PEDs and all.
Yeah. Oh, well, he's big, man. They were all bodybuilders. I actually ended up making one of my first videos called by a group called the Bod Squad. We're the Bod Squad. I don't know how I ended up in this world.
Is this on your occasion?
I'm bodybuilding on the beach. Look at me.
What was the obsession with bodybuilding? Not obsession, but what was the thought behind bodybuilding? Was there something that you were into?
Well, it's funny when I heard your interview before. It's like, obviously, moving towards the realm of being a fat kid, didn't want to be. So like I started bodybuilding in high school and everything. And what happened is that I don't think too well. Right? I don't have too many good ideas. And one of them was not to wear a belt. So I became a deadlifter. You know what deadlifting is, right? So I competed as I was on the road to becoming a champion deadlifter because I lifted like about 660 pounds and I was like 5'10" and 15, right?
What weight were you?
Huh?
What weight were you?
Well, and don't like discussing numbers. Let's just say I was a big kid who managed to mold my body a little bit bigger and everything. But I couldn't lose the punch because I discovered beer. But not at 15. Just later. But no, I was deadlifting, where you drop to your knees and doing all. And I could do that, but I was doing that without a belt. What
was your theory behind the no belt?
You should ask my coach why he didn't just give me one.
Oh. So
I think he had to buy them. You know what I mean? And everything. And it was just kind of like, look, he's lifting it. I don't care.
So did something happen? Did it, Chase?
Well, no, I just ended up with like back problems, my lower sacroiliac kind of thing. Because I used to powerlift as well. But in the competition, the deadlifting, I was really good at. I can just, I'm like that guy who can lift a truck kind of thing. Because it's shoulders, right? I knew how to do this. you see my shoulders,
That's
man.
all.
I'm fucking massive. You know what I mean? But it's just I didn't go on with it. And Lou Ferrigno was like, he was in my school. Like, well,
Was he? Yeah.
not at my same time, but
Yeah,
he
yeah.
came back because I went to Brooklyn Tech. So
Did you meet him?
once I got to meet him once, you know, because this was when the Hulk first came out and everything. So obviously he was going back to like his old schools and everything like that. So he was in the gym and
Was he in Pumping Iron? Have you watched the film?
Yeah.
But he was the Incredible Hulk, man.
Yeah, I know.
How many years older than you, is he?
Oh man, I mean, he wasn't in my school, but he went to my school like I think about 3 years. So I think he was like maybe about 3 or 4 years older than me.
Wow.
I mean, I could be wrong though. I'm always wrong when it comes to numbers. He was the Hulk, so he couldn't be 3 or 4 years older than me because I was still in high school when I watched that show. Why did I say that?
That must have been
Cut that.
inspiring, though.
Huh?
That must have been inspiring.
It was very inspiring because, like I said, because when I heard that he was in the school and I was in the weightlifting class and everything, because what it was like they tried to put me in the football team and I hated drills, especially
American football or soccer?
Yeah, American.
Yeah.
We don't know about
Real
no
football
soccer.
or American
football. American football, bro. But I hated the drills. You've probably done stair drills, right?
Yeah.
And I hated that, man. And especially when you got to get up in the morning and going in for training and they got you on running drills. And I'm like, look, I'm a tight end, bro. Just let me do that. But I just said, forget it. I'm going to go for the weightlifting team and the taekwondo team and I'll do all that and everything. So football wasn't my gambit.
So where you are now producing things,
Mm-hmm.
where did that then take you? Because you started to work with some big names, didn't you?
Yeah, so, okay, yeah. Sorry, John, I got to get to that, right? So, like I said, my director for the show, he was a first AD. So, basically, I got to learn about...
You were an AD, a first AD,
That was my main job as the first AD. So, he was the first AD, but he was working for Marcus and everything. So, he was doing big videos, like I said. So
tell them what an AD does, what a first AD is like.
Oh man, that's the master.
It is. It's like, so when you're on set,
master what?
They just bring everything together, man. They've got to have this certain presence about them. You'll notice they're all the same. It's like the director will...
So the director comes up with the concept and the AD actually facilitates it. So his power is time management. So what happens is that he sets the schedule and the plan. He talks to the crew, the actors, and the people, and he actually runs the set while the director sits in
the man with the paper and the coffee shouting everywhere.
He blitzing.
Yeah. Like, so the director can sit at the monitor and just like be like, yeah, action and cut, while the AD does all the work.
Yeah. Not everyone can do that job. You've got to be able to have a control over everyone.
Yeah.
You've got to be quite a powerful person to do it.
Exactly. But there's two types. There's the military guy who's the asshole. Yeah, everybody do this. Or there is...
Half a coke up his nose.
Yeah. Or there's the cool guy that says, come on, guys, help me out. I'm here for you, and I'm going to make sure you leave on time. And that was the kind I learned how to be and everything. So basically, we also did casting. So I did a lot of casting, yeah, and everything like that. I said it like that. But I did a lot of casting. So we were doing the
You would take the cast?
We would be casting directors for markets. So when that was the other job that Dwayne had, Dwayne Perriman, shout out to Dwayne. And I was like his assistant. So I learned everything. I learned what everybody does, what to do. I learned how to edit and everything, working under this guy and everything. But, I was, I guess, the nice guy. I was like the teddy bear, So everybody knew me and everything. And I was just like not confident enough to believe, okay, in myself. So what happened was with my writing stuff, I actually wrote the treatments. So Dwayne would get me to write his treatments, and then that's how we started making music videos, because it was always about a story, right? Whatever the video is going to be, it's going to be a story.
Yeah.
So I would start off doing that.
So this was probably at the time when MTV started to come out and music videos.
So MTV was already out, but everybody was doing narrative videos. So like any video you've seen from the 90s, it always had a story, didn't it? It has to be like kind of like part story, part performance and stuff. So we were in New York, so we weren't in LA. So in LA, you can't get into a building to see anybody. In New York, you just go upstairs. So like when it came down to, a famous person wanting a treatment for a video, you could just write one and then they'll read it. Because obviously only about 3 or 4 people were writing treatments, because this is before the superstar
It was
director.
all new, yeah. That's what
It's
I mean.
before Hype Williams and everything like that. So like,
It's a crucial time when you started. doing
yes, because everybody knew me, like in the labels and all that other kind of stuff. So because everybody knew about this guy over here who writes really excellent treatments, that's how I met the genius from the Wu-Tang Clan, right? Because then what happened is that like, funny story is that like the money, right? Now videos today, this is why I don't try to do videos anymore, because it's a big money operation, isn't it? So if you're a director, you get like 10%. If you're a producer, you get 5%. If you're a production company, you get 15%, right? So I have my own production company, so I'm getting 20%, right? If I'm directing it, then I get like, 20%, 10, 30. But so Genius wanted to direct videos, and his label said, you can't direct a video. You need to have a production company. Right? So like he like looks around, right? And then boom, he finds out about me. So then he just walks up into our office. You know what I mean?
Who's this, Chase?
Genius from the Wu-Tang Clan, right? So he just walks up into our office, but I'm actually down in Florida shooting for Uncle Luke and the 2 Live Crew. Do you remember like 2 Live Crew?
I don't. It's not mine.
Oh, Jesus Christ, your audience would.
I'm sure some will, yeah.
Booty videos, just do that. Uncle Luke. Anyway, so we come back and my boss is like, yo, some guy named Justice was looking for you. They all have super names, right? And so we call him up on a payphone. Do you remember the days of the payphone, John?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so.
How much was the payphone back then?
25 cents, bruh.
A quarter?
A quarter, yeah. So like, so we call him up and he said, look, somebody wants me to do a video. I want you to produce the video. And then it started.
What did you think at this time? You were like, no fucking way.
Do you know who he was at the point? Is he?
Yeah.
Everyone knows he is.
Yeah. But the point was, he was an artist who wanted to get the money that the record labels were giving out to the people who make the videos.
Could have the middleman.
Exactly.
Like
I want to
Denzel.
direct my own videos and stuff like that. So I want to get that money. So, a lot of, and this doesn't get me in trouble. It's just the fact that it's the way the business works. So like, if you hire Genius to do your video, you want to see Genius on set, don't you? Right? So if I'm a guy who does produce, first AD, right, right?
Can you wear all them hats under the same banner?
Yeah.
Or is the contract put in place that you can't have a conflict of interest? Is there anything like
No. You can wear all those hats.
Yeah.
Because like what? So one I did a video for SWV, Sisters with Voices. You don't know them? Okay, cool. Redman. Anyway, so I did a video for them.
We don't know them before you ask us.
Whatever. Okay. So no, but this is funny. This is how it is, right? So I'm thinking I'm slick, but I'm not. So I'm doing a video for them, right? And I get called up by the head of the label, right? And he goes, look, man, we know Genius is not doing this video. I'm like, what are you talking about? Of course he is. I'm his producer. I'm his AD or whatever. We know you're doing the video. Oh, no, you're not in trouble. We just know you're doing the video. Do you really? Right? And so we're going to give you a first AD so that way you don't have to we follow the trail and all of that
doing a lot
kind
of
stuff.
it, all of it. It is, that's about control and being creative. But if you're doing all of it, pressure turns to stress. So it got tough at times.
Yeah. But I had a good team around me, which I, haven't had in years, 20. Like if you have a good team, especially made up of your friends. I mean, you must have like friends working for you and your team, don't you? No? Yeah. Because you could trust them, right? And they could trust you, right? They're not just there feeding off of your money and stuff like that, being on your entourage. It's like entourage. So I had a good team of people, so I didn't have to do everything. But I was responsible for creating the idea that gets us all the work.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, and even if I'm shadowing, like, so Genius is the director and I'm still making sure that he has something to direct. He gets his pocket money and I and my team all get paid, and that's what I had to do for a couple of years. And that's what I was doing. So where we could work with like various people. I'll drop names, but you won't know them. Yeah.
People will. I went even born. Drop the names.
Yeah. No, I mean, because it did MOP or Jay-Z or I did a project with Alicia Keys.
Hang about, you worked with Jay-Z?
Yeah. Yeah, he was in 4 Alarm Bays with MOP, yeah.
Wow.
And stuff. And
how interesting is that?
Well, at the time it was work, bruh. You know what I mean? It was work, and it was just the norm. I mean, like you could call up like what's her name, Lauren from the Fugees and stuff like that. Lauren Hill, that's right. And
we're educating him now.
Well, it's a miseducation. But but that's what I'm trying to say. That just was like the world I was in.
No way. So to be fair, you've gone from a kid with a stamina in school who secluded himself, was a bit of a nerd, to being in this environment where probably a lot of your peers you grew up with would love to have been in this environment.
So tell us what this project was like working with Alicia Keys.
Oh man. I mean, like, so pretty much it was like I was the first AD on that project. And the funny thing about that is that, Fallen, right? So her first album, yeah. So she was in the studio with her record label, MBK Entertainment. And the head of that label felt like, I want to make a movie. Okay, right? And then, you're going to be the star, right? Because he actually saw the writing on the wall. He saw her as a star. So I was brought in by their editor and everything to be the first AD on this movie. So we were working on this gangster film. It's called Playing the Game, right? And because she ended up doing the same kind of part in playing Aces or whatever that, Smoking Aces. She ended up doing the same part in that kind of movie. But so what was funny about this was, so she's doing this movie, and so we shot it, right? And then they're like, this was so great. Let's do another movie, right? So then they were prepping to do the second movie. Now, Fallen is about to drop. Clive Davis, you heard of him, right? The boy guy from Electra Records, right? So she goes, hey, Clive, I just did a movie. What? Yeah, check it out. He looks at it and he goes, burn that shit. We're all like, yeah, man, we just did this movie. This is all great. He's like, burn that shit. Set it on fire. Nobody will see shit.
Whatever happened to the movie? Did it go out? No?
It got burned. Wow. But like, I had a copy. Yeah. Right? My editor friend had a copy. But then I decided to come to England. Right, it's like I just jumped on the ship and came over here, and so I took what I could, right, and then my cousins put everything else in storage and everything, so it's in storage somewhere in the Poconos.
Someone's probably won that in storage.
I was just thinking this, Jazz,
$25. And
dude, I swear, I did go to the storage house once, right? Like about a couple of years ago, and I was like, "Come on, Auntie, because it's my own storage." And I'm like, "I gotta find this movie." So I'm going through all these boxes and shit. Got all my comic books, my old scripts, my TV guides. I collected TV guides, and everything. And I only took like about 3 tapes, and everything, but I couldn't find that. But I didn't really go through it all, is what I'm just trying to say. But, I just keep thinking about this movie, right? Because she's so huge.
What would that be worth now?
Huh?
What would that be worth now?
She'd probably pay you not to release it.
Probably.
It's stuff. Get on Skype scanner now. We'll pay for the flight, but we want a percentage.
Yeah. Oh man, no, but it was fun.
So here you are living this lifestyle, working with these big names, and now, how did you end up in Liverpool?
John, I told you off camera. I don't tell that story. Pretty much, I would just say it's like the internet was a new and beautiful thing. I was on one of them America Online dating sites, you know what I mean? And
my man.
Yeah. So I met my partner and everything, and like, let's put it this way. I think everybody does it, right? When you're talking to somebody on the internet, you're this person, right?
Were you doing this online dating, speaking on forums when it was weird?
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. It's like your conversation. Your conversation is only like about 10, 20 minutes, and then it's like where you live. I had those.
Yeah,
I had those experiences.
After 6 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. I love you. Where do you live? So because she lived in England, couldn't do that. Like couldn't do it like that. But my pockets were fat back then, right? You know, so it's
wait. What did you be on a forum?
No, America. It's a dating site, but what happened was like, yeah, your picture's on there, right? And people could contact you or you could contact them. So I just happened to go to the Grammys, right? And everything. And so, you know, I'm putting pictures like, you know, in that Hollywood Hills, you know what I mean? Me and my boys in the limo, yeah, we're at the fucking Grammys. So I put that on my dating site. Why would I?
Fucking right. Your best foot forward, Chase.
Exactly. So she contacted me. And, you know, and then it's like, so what I'm trying to say is, I would be like, yeah, so where you live? Right? England? What the fuck is that? Yeah. Right? I'm like, I have no clue about Liverpool. What the fuck is that? You know, Beatles, what? Anyway, so then she was coming to America to see somebody else, right? And everything. So I'm like, where you going? And so Baltimore, I could get down there in about 3 hours, right? I was just like thirsty and stuff. But anyway, she disappeared, right? I'm just trying to tell you the secret of online dating.
She disappeared? Then I just turned up one day.
But wait. No, John. You had to go to the internet cafe, right? So she disappeared. But the strangest thing happened to me was I was like, I no longer had the heat of like, I want to meet you because we want to have sex.
Yeah.
It was like, but wait a minute, we were actually having a conversation. You know, this was actually pretty cool. So then I was like, oh shit, where's she at? Yeah. And there was no ghosting terms or anything. So I was like, so I just decided to do what I thought was a romantic thing. I just kept writing, right? While she was gone, right? And everything. And she went to an internet cafe maybe like about a week later and saw all the messages. So by that point, it wasn't like I want to see you so we could, you know, I want to see you because I miss you.
You missed the engagement with her. You missed. It weren't just
the heat
conquest.
is gone. So when she responded, I was like, oh, you know what I mean? So I was hit by the arrow of love.
So what happened then?
So then she said, well, I could come back. Oh shit, she could come back. Oh, that's cool, right? And so she came back, and then we continued talking and stuff, and it became about like when we do meet, is it just going to be sex? Or is it actually going to be this thing they call love? I didn't know what love was like, John.
You fell in love with your wife before you actually met her?
I fell in love with her mind because I like talking to her. So you got to understand, I was making music videos. So I don't want to be crude. But, you know, no. I meant girls with girls, right?
You lapped it up. You know you had options.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I know. I get
Yeah. So I wasn't in love. I mean, I was a young geek, right? So I didn't know anything about any of that. So talking to somebody was a whole huge experience. Yeah. So I'm like, can it stay the same? Right. So then when she did come, you know, and everything, for 5 days, I was like in turmoil and everything. And I proposed at the end of 5 days. And stuff. So it's kind of like, it was like, oh, damn, this is what it feels like. And everything. And,
imagine what it was like for her, Chase, a Scouse girl, yeah?
Yeah.
It's like this Scouse girl, like, I know it took the piss and stuff, but, you know, this is our relationship. This is how we are. Yeah. And it's like, you're like, I don't know, she's gone to New York. She's met this music producer, man.
Yeah.
That must have been so like alien to her. It's like, wow, look at this. This is great.
So I take I mean, I take her to like my I take her to my production office. I was just in the edit of this music video called Big Act Little Acts with Afu Ra and the Jizza again and everything. So I mean, I was like high in a hog, you know what I'm saying? More ways than one. But the whole thing about it was that, yeah, it was like, oh my God, you know, this is great. Now she wanted to come. Yeah, I'll come to live in New York and stuff. And then, you know, you explore that option, but Americans, they don't like anybody coming in. You know, that is the true fact. So when I decided to come over here, everybody said, you crazy. I said, I'm crazy in love. Right? And then, you know, I came over here. I came through the airport with a big garbage bag and a printer on my arm. Right? I don't know why, but I did. And then what happened was that don't ask me why. It blew up on me on the first night, bro, because the transformer I plugged into. I don't know, bro.
Is this valuable or something?
Dude, I don't know. I thought I'm gonna need a printer and everything, and I didn't know that
That's
the plug.
his car, his house.
I didn't know the.
Don't forget the printer, man.
I didn't know the plug system was different, man. So I plugged it in and it blew up. You know what I mean? Transform.
Just imagine in the airport, couldn't you? There's that man with his printer again.
I had to show you a picture of me just coming through there. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, that's what it was. But what I was trying to say was every time I went to, sign up for my, immigration and everything here, they were like, "Oh, you sound boss, like where you from?" And all this kind of stuff. I'm American, but can I get my national insurance number or whatever? Can I get it? Boom. Right? They just stamped me through, they just fast tracked me through the system. It's kind of like one of those crazy things because I'm like looking around and I'm looking at like probably Africans over there that have probably been there for 3 days. And I just go up to the window and say, "Hey, how you doing?" Oh, wow.
No, but it is. It's like, I was saying this to you before. It's like being from Liverpool. We grew up with people like you on the TV.
Oh, totally, bros. Oh, man.
So to meet you, and when I first, what I said before, like meeting you, was like, no way, this fella's cool. You know what I mean?
True. Dude, I was a teacher for about 15 years. So when I'm going into a school, you can imagine how it was. I go into a school, I'm a man of walking diversity. Kids like this. Wow, you keep talking, he's so boss. And everything like that. I'm like, I am actually here to teach you right about now. Teach me nothing, man. Just keep talking. I can't do a Scouse accent, so I won't try.
You to never change the accents because you get praised for it, don't you, really? Yeah.
Well, Americans think it's changed. It's kind of like, they hear the whole different side. Because I'm talking with the Scouserisms and all that other kind of stuff. And but yeah. I like that deep Barry White voice. So
here you are now, found love, living in Liverpool. It's like
well, love is over, man. Love doesn't last. All right, let's just leave it at that. We were married for like about 16, 17 years. Got a beautiful son, but now it's like 20 years later. So
Shout out Jackson.
Shout out Jackson, man. But yeah, it was a great love story while it was going on and everything. Because for me, everything was different, John. Like I keep telling people, Liverpool to me looks like New Rochelle or the Bronx, right? Because of its low-level housing.
Is there a lot of similarities between Liverpool and New York, would you say?
No.
Obviously, New York's massive and stuff.
Yeah. But I meant like if you were
this was a melting pot at one point.
Yeah. But if you're in the suburban parts, it's a lot like that. Yeah. But what I like is that you ever walk down Bow Street and not run into somebody You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like when you're living in New York and you're living in tall towers, you don't know anybody.
Oh, okay.
You see what I mean? So like that's why people on the train like,
okay. So it's like
right?
London,
Don't touch. Yeah, like London. Yeah, London is very much like New York. Don't touch me. But
where did you move when you come here?
Oh my God.
What part of Liverpool?
I said, yeah.
Don't say Birkenhead.
I said, tell me about where you live because I just want to know.
He's a fraud.
Birkenhead.
No, Walton, bro.
Walton.
How many people do we have from Walton?
Big up Walton.
Big up Walton, man. Newby Street and across from Goodison and stuff like that. So yes, I was pretty much felt like the only black guy in that area. But
was you at the time?
No, I think there was another guy. The only one that looked and talked like me.
I'm from Walton. Whereabouts?
Newby Street.
Newby Street?
County Road.
Off County Road?
Yeah.
I know, at least we were neighbours.
Yeah. No. I dig it. I went to the Black Horse once. The Black Horse.
What date was this? What year was this?
2001. Wow. Yeah, and so I started my teaching career at Walsall.
Chase, you might have went in my barbershop. Sweeps.
I mean, no.
There's an American guy who used to come into my shop.
Really?
It could have been you.
It could have been you? No, I don't think it was. I would always just shave my head, John. You know what I mean? I wouldn't go to I would go to the barbers, but yeah, I am gray.
Nah, I think he was a doctor, this fella.
No. Okay. But I only stayed there for I only stayed there for like 6 months. And we had to go. It's like so we moved to Taki. So I've been to Taki ever since. But it was crazy because she said my area is like Beirut. I'm like, Beirut? Baby, I'm from Harlem. How bad could it be? Right? I said it like that, right? How bad could it be? Until it was.
And was it like Baby Ruth?
No, but it was just like, the Royal Oak.
Yeah.
So, we're in the Royal Oak and everything, and it's like, oh, there's going to be quiz on. Oh, I like quizzes and everything like that. And supposedly I went to the bathroom, and then some guys approached my partner and said, yeah, you better leave.
Really?
Yeah. Really? She said it was like BMP time, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't even know what that means. But she's just like, oh, we got to go. Why? What's going on?
In 2001.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was surprised myself, because
Well, he's just a one-off. Then he's just a one-off.
yeah. He was.
I wouldn't say it was like that, right?
No. Because what it was my dad said to me, like, because I had to come over here with a round trip ticket, right? So my dad said to me, like, how you got your ticket, right? I had a 2-week ticket, so he's like, don't lose that ticket, right? So I had 2 weeks to decide whether I was going to stay. You know what I mean? And what she did on the first night was she just invited this whole community of people, and we went to like Sergeant Pepper's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was on Penny Lane.
Penny Lane, yeah. The bathhouse. So we went there, and so I met a whole bunch of people right on the first night to
you got
feel
a warm
comfortable.
welcome.
Yeah. And to me, that's always been Liverpool. Liverpool is I've never really had any bad experiences. I would, there'll be the occasional shout out at the car, by those like really tough people that keep driving away. The same stuff. But who doesn't get that? But yeah, I mean, I love it, man. It's just been, I wouldn't even go back. It's just
Tell
been
us
my
what,
place.
when you did get here, you told me the story about the Wu-Tang Clan one day. You were telling your mates I work at the Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Not that have you mentioned the Wu-Tang Clan?
No.
To be fair, he hasn't much on this.
Have you said anything about it? No.
He hasn't. No, he's only mentioned him once on this.
Have you worked with the Wu-Tang Clan?
Yeah.
You never said.
We've known Chase for a while now. We know him too well.
Actually, no. So yeah, I used to work with the Wu-Tang Clan. So I worked with Genius, like I said. I was doing all of his stuff. So guys, you should know me. But I'm not like a star fucker. You know what I mean? Like as a first AD, my job is to get your thing going. So I met a lot of people. I don't go, hey, can I get a selfie? Or be all chummy and stuff. I just do my job. But so I had a relationship with Genius in that way. So then when I came here, like I said, I came in 2001. So we were working together up until I left. Then he showed up like about 10 years ago, right? Because, they had an international market. And this was like one of their first one of the first places he came to. So like, I mean, because I think before RZA had come and everything like that. So I was a teacher, like I said, and I had these media students and everything. Everybody knows me as the Wu-Tang guy, right? Even one of my interns now, his mom just like, yeah, you gonna see the Wu-Tang man, right? And all this other kind of stuff. And so now I had to put my money where my mouth was because I found out that he's coming to play at the Casimir, right? Down there bottom of Park Street. So I'm like, oh, that I'm nervous. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, guys, I'm going to plan for the best. He's going to show up, right? And then we're going to get backstage. We're going to do all this kind of stuff. So I'm standing outside. You guys just stand over there so that way if there's any shooting, all right? So I'm like, please know me. Please know me.
Please know me.
So it's only been 10 years. I look the same. Please know me. So the car drives up, right? The big SUV, whatever drives up. Gets out of the car. He's do that hang dog walk, right? And everything like that he usually does. So he's walking and everything. And then I'm standing here like this. Right? Please don't be. And then he turns. So slowly he turns. And then he's like, oh, shit. And I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, God. And everything. So anyway, so mad love and everything. So he let us all in and everything. And then I said, yo, these are my kids and stuff. Can we like shoot your show? And then he's like, yeah, sure. Can you take pictures with them? So I got pictures with them and him and everything like that. And they were all fucking made up, right? Because you know how it is. Everybody's got to make a Wu-Tang mixtape, right? I don't care where you're from. Except for John. All right?
Have you got a Wu-Tang mixtape?
Come on, most young lions have a Wu-Tang mixtape. Damn you.
To be fair, I have got one.
Anyway, so the whole point was it was live. It's on YouTube and everything. The concert we shot and stuff, and it was beautiful. And he's come back like about 2 or 3 times, and each time going backstage. So he was supposed to come back last year, pandemic. So he's scheduled to come this year, right? And so one of my goals is to get him on this show and everything, and in November, because like I don't know why, but they always just announce Manchester dates, but they don't announce Liverpool dates. But obviously, he usually does the swing. Why not? So, yeah, so that's my hope.
It's nice when you see a familiar face from back home because you've been away for so long.
No, exactly. And it's just that thing of like being able to, like connect with somebody. And that's what I like about when famous people are cool. Right? And it's not all about like I'm famous and who the hell are you? You know what I mean?
It's just cool that he was happy to see you, man. He just embraced you.
Yeah, man. Well, no, but that's what I'm saying, bro. Because it's just that we work so closely together. You should know me, right? It's not like, Jay-Z. I mean, I remember I was calling Alicia Keys' manager, when I first came here, and I could get her on the phone and everything. And I'm like, yeah, so when is Alicia coming in? And I wanted to do one of those things, but, kind of too late now. She's probably forgotten all about those times. Yo, Alicia, remember when we were in that?
This has been a great podcast.
So, things going on now. Obviously, we've come here to use your place for the podcast. Chase, what's going on now with you and the Big Condo Records?
Yeah, man. So I mean, we're sorry to lose the boys from We Are Famalam, but we would love to be. This is where we all birthed together. You know what I mean? I was saying to Roy, like the set here went through about 3 different changes while you were doing all your shows. And then I was surprised the Lee Butler show that you released was just like what, last week or 2 weeks ago. And that was like one of the first ones. I think that was the first one.
That was the first one.
Yeah. But it's kind of like, wait a minute, there's a Christmas tree? What's going on? The walls were all black.
Every time you came in, something was different, weren't it?
Yeah.
You look back at the podcast, you'll notice something's different about the studio every time. And then we got the telly.
Exactly.
And then we come today and the telly doesn't work now.
Yeah,
so
how come there's no way?
I know you've made us feel really welcome, and I've loved coming here. I really have. We've had a laugh, haven't we, Chase?
No. We had a great laugh, man. I mean, it's a shame because, like, we only have like 4 channels, and because sometimes like I be trying to shout out from over there in the booth, and everything. You guys even done it with Blake as well. I wanted to be here when you did the hot water guy, Paul.
Yeah.
Because like I heard you had a like little fun joke there on Blake's suspense.
Yeah,
I love that.
Paul Smith, that was a good one.
Shout out Paul Smith, yeah.
And you have to take responsibility now for all the comments that we're getting over the Darren Till podcast.
Oh shit, yeah.
We've been waiting to pin this on you, Chase.
First of all, it's not my fault. Let me tell you what Darren Till did.
Take responsibility, Chase.
No. Darren Till did this throughout the whole podcast.
You've been doing all podcasts
Blake,
as well, to be fair.
What are you saying? Who's taking responsibility?
Darren's fault.
Oh, whatever. I hope he doesn't find out.
He's not a sound guy, he's a fighter.
Listen, man, shout out to Darren Till. Excellent. But I mean, I was
Stop
over
it,
there
Chase.
going, stop. Okay.
No, we get the height of abuse all the time because of the audio.
Peter File, we got called Jim because because Darren was doing this, we got called Peter File.
And that's why I've got a barbershop to lurk into.
Yeah. What you just need to bring Darren back, bro.
That was a good podcast. Where can we catch you?
So yeah, man. So Big Condo Online, Chase Johnson. Believe it or not, what's cool about my name, Chase Johnston-Lynch, it is the only one. Because like there's a lot of people who calling themselves Chase or even Chase Johnston or whatever, something like that. But like I love it how I'm like, the first name that comes up in Google. You know what I mean?
Google whack.
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay.
That's another thing. Google.
Right.
Google. Hey!
Yeah. And but also too is that I would love people to, watch the Movie Squad, because that's like the show I'm loving the most.
That's a podcast, is it?
Yeah, that's the podcast. It's like 4 of us, like a kind of like a zoo mentality. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because, Jazza was supposed to be on that show. And, because Jazza's favorite movie is The Warriors. If you didn't know it.
Come on.
What?
I am gonna come on. I'm gonna wear my vest, aren't I?
Yeah. But what I like is that Jazz is such a diehard fan that he has a vest. He has one of the Warriors vests and everything. So I said, can you bring the vest? And he said, Chase, just for you.
I couldn't get the vest.
Oh, is that what it was?
No. I couldn't be asked to get the vest. The vest weren't there, so I couldn't be asked. I couldn't get it because it's not my vest.
It wasn't me, it was the vest.
No, I will get it.
But also too is that John is also a diehard Marvel fan, and you don't really get to hear that much about it because he's got to be so serious with his guests, don't you, John?
Oh, most certainly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I offered to come on your podcast, and you were like, "Oh, we do it on Tuesdays. Just turn up."
No, Mondays.
Mondays, whatever. I'll come. I'd like to come. I'd like to Owen to come as well.
Yeah.
Owen's the guy who does our editing and stuff. Obviously, you all know. He's I think he's have a field day with him.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I mean, no slight against us, but I mean, I love like all of your. No, I love all the little like we call them bite sizes, but I love all of the little stuff that you
Bits
guys
in the car.
Well, no, like
the 1 minute clips on Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah. Bite-sized clips.
Yeah.
We call them bite sizes, but and I love like the strap lines and all that you got. So I'm just really proud of the show. I hope you guys are proud of the show because you guys got so many views, well deserved, because it's not just your popularity, but you're just really doing something that's naturally. And I don't want you to think that man, anybody could do this, because they can't. You guys can. And stuff. So it's been a pleasure working with you guys. I feel sad now.
I know. Do you know what? It's been a real pleasure working with you. And people probably see me taking the piss out of Chase here today and think he's horrible. But trust me, he gives as good as he gets. But Jack,
like Jack Nicholson.
On Chase tonight. He's usually horrible to Chase. He's vile, and it's made me look like I'm being horrible to him.
And now they all know the face to the name, don't they?
This is indeed true, man.
Face to the blame, more like it.
The face to the blame. Yeah, that move. How can I do this from here?
Right, well, let's call it a day on this one.
Anything else you want to add, Chase?
Nah, man. I mean, I just appreciate you guys, putting me on the show so people can see and everything. That's all good. But and I'm pretty sure you'll be back.
Should we take it out with a song?
Yeah, dog.
I don't sing.
Keep smiling, keep shining. I'll be on your side forevermore. For sure. That's what Chase is for. Through good times and bad times, I'll be on your side forevermore.
This is the bit that couldn't cut.
That's what Chase is for.
Oh, damn. I'm crying.
Take you out now.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, dog.
Thanks, Elton.
These Van Drows. Right. Thank you for tuning in to the How Are We Famalam podcast. I've been John May. This has been Jazz Dickens.
Like, subscribe, leave a comment.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Right.
Yeah, ring the bell.
Look, he doesn't shut up, right? We're going to go. Chase, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chase.
Ta-da.